Okay, before even taste testing, I can tell you that a positive is that my kitchen now smells like cinnamon rolls. Sir, your pacing is not making for a productive video. Okay, they're hot as tits. All right, first off, I would like to say thank you to the person that suggested that I do this video because I am very appreciative of the excuse to purchase and get to taste test 5 different types of Pop-Tarts. Okay, hi, hello, welcome to today's video. My name is Courtney, and today I'm going to be taste testing Pop-Tarts, obviously, which is something I have never done on this channel, but like I said, somebody commented and said that I should do a Pop-Tart taste testing, and so when I was at the grocery store and I walked by the Pop-Tart section, I was like, I might as well glance at it while I'm over here and see if there's anything worth taste testing. Like, are there actually enough, hello silly, are there enough Pop-Tarts to do a sufficient taste testing? And to my delightful surprise, there were 3 brand new types of Pop-Tarts, including Boston cream donut, lemon cream pie, and Kellogg's Eggo frosted maple. And then I saw 2 more that I was like, oh, those are very interesting. So there was frosted cinnamon roll and pretzel cinnamon sugar. So yeah, I was like, all right, there's definitely enough here for me to do an entire taste testing. So I scooped up all of the boxes. Here we are. I'm very excited for it. I'm also excited because I think it's going to be really fun. So my brother and his girlfriend went back to school to start off, the new semester last month. And after they left, I realized I found one of my brother's Christmas presents that I had hidden so well that I hid it from myself. So I thought it'll be fun that I'm going to send like 1 package of each Pop-Tart to them so they can do their own little taste testing. Sir, your pacing is not making for a productive video. He just wants to be pet, but the funny thing is, I've been home for hours. I could have been petting him all day. It's when I sit down to film these videos and I sit at this table for some reason that he just wants to be loved, and it's yet another reason I don't eat at these tables except for taste testing. Okay, I'm gonna wash my hands, and then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna start taste testing. Okay, so when I got home and I brought all of these home, I noticed that on the back of one of them is this graphic showing the different ways to eat Pop-Tarts. So straight from the toast, or straight from the foil, we all know. Toasted, if you've never had a toasted Pop-Tart, do that. Stacked, I've never had 2 Pop-Tarts at once. That almost slightly seems like a waste, but either way. But then it says frozen. And I have never thought of or heard of anybody freezing a Pop-Tart. And then upon further inspection, there is actually directions on every box that shows and says the option of freezing the Pop-Tart. So I didn't want to freeze one of every single one, but I did put one of the lemon cream pie ones in the freezer, and it says freeze it for at least 20 minutes. So I'm sure by the end of this video, it'll be frozen. So I'm going to taste test that at the very end. But either way, I'm going to break these down into little like groups of sorts, because what I'm going to do is taste test each Pop-Tart room temperature by itself, straight from the foil. And then I'm also going to toast some Pop-Tarts and taste test them toasted. So I've broken them down into the categories of breakfast Pop-Tarts, sweet and salty Pop-Tarts, and dessert Pop-Tarts. So we're going to start with the breakfast Pop-Tarts. All right, so the breakfast Pop-Tarts are the Kellogg's Eggo frosted maple flavor. It doesn't say waffle, which I find super interesting, but obviously Eggo waffles are, that's what Eggo are. Eggo are waffles, words. Either way, there's a picture of a waffle on the box, so I'm assuming that's what we're going for here. And then on the other side, we have frosted cinnamon roll, which, I mean, they really don't give much of a description. They're like, yep, that's what it is. So I'm going to open up a package. I'm going to split one of each in half, put half in the toaster oven, taste test the other half, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, apologies if you can hear the toaster oven, but important question. How do you eat a Pop-Tart? And by that, I mean, do you just straight like bite into it? Do you break it in half? Do you bite into one half? Do you eat the crust off the edges first and then the center? How do you go about it? Because I'll be honest, I am typically the type to eat the crust around the edges and then eat the center. But for taste testing purposes, I'm just gonna like straight bite into it. Okay, before even taste testing, I can tell you that a positive is that my kitchen now smells like cinnamon rolls. Okay, they're hot as tits. Okay, first off, they're both absolutely delicious. I would say it's probably without surprise that they're both better warmed up and toasted. The the waffle one, it almost weirded me out how much it actually tasted like an Eggo waffle, and not just a waffle, but specifically an Eggo waffle. Like it definitely weirded me out a little bit. I was like, oh, I was not expecting that, but it was delicious. And then the cinnamon roll is, when it's warmed up, I would say of the two, the Eggo waffle performs better room temperature. But once they're heated up, the cinnamon roll is most definitely superior. But either way, they are both absolutely delicious. I personally am someone who definitely prefers to have their Pop-Tart toasted. So if you're someone who doesn't, that's totally cool. That's up to you. I might recommend the Eggo one is probably more for you, because I think the cinnamon roll, being cinnamon roll, it almost needs to be heated up. Now, what I will also say is that when it wasn't heated up, I found myself wanting there to be more icing on top. I was like, ooh, there's only like that little kind of drizzle of icing. I could use some more icing on top. But once it was heated in the toaster, I no longer was searching or wanting more icing. I was like, no, this is perfect. So I thought that was interesting as well. But yeah, either way, so far, both epically delicious. And what's fun too is you don't feel like you're just eating an Eggo waffle or just eating a cinnamon roll, because you still have the traditional Pop-Tart flavor. So it is like the perfect twist on a Pop-Tart. Okay, so next up is the sweet and salty category, and there's only one for this category. I believe they may have another pretzel Pop-Tart, but if so, I don't remember. I'm not sure. I just grabbed this one. It is pretzel cinnamon sugar. So yeah, it is a sweet and salty Pop-Tart. Now, I know these have been out for a while now, and I'm pretty sure I have actually tried them before, but I do not remember whatsoever what my thoughts were or anything of the sort. So here we are. I'm going to break one in half, throw half in the toaster, try the other half, and report back to you. That's super interesting. I feel like the pretzel taste was a lot more subtle than I was expecting. At first, I was like, oh, this kind of just tastes like a normal cinnamon sugar Pop-Tart. So I flipped it over and bit it so that like the pretzel side was what hit my tongue first. And when I did that, then I was like, oh, I can definitely taste the saltiness and the pretzel a bit more. And I definitely liked it a bit more when I did that. So this is interesting. It was a subtle difference, but once you noticed it, it was like, oh, that's very interesting. The saltiness adds a bit of fun to it. The pretzel flavor is not overpowering. It's not weird. It just adds a little something to it. I like it. And of course, I like it better again toasted. Okay, so the last two flavors are what I'm going to consider our dessert category. We have the lemon cream pie and the frosted Boston cream donut, and I am so excited for both of these. So let me break some in half, throw them in the toaster oven. I'm going to taste test the room temperature, the toaster oven, and then when I taste tested all four of those, I will grab the lemon cream pie from the freezer and taste test the frozen one. Okay, so first off, I was very right to put them both in like a dessert category because they are both absolutely delicious dessert-like items. I'm honestly not sure how you could justify saying these are breakfast. But okay, the lemon cream pie is absolutely amazing. It is so delicious. The inside is just so bright and fresh and good, and it is so good both ways. Definitely better toasted, but it was one of those things as I was eating it, room temperature, I was like, this is amazing. The toasted one is going to be exquisite, and it was probably easily my favorite from this whole taste testing so far, which I kind of had a feeling it was going to be. So I will say that. The Boston cream donut tastes so spot on. It is so absolutely delicious. The one thing though I found really interesting was I liked it better room temperature because I found the flavor to be more like an actual Boston cream donut when it was room temperature. When it was toasted, it was different, but it makes sense because typically you don't eat a donut toasted. You don't eat donuts like right when they come out, right when they're super fresh. Would be cool, but you typically don't. So I found I liked it better room temperature, but either way, absolutely both delicious. The lemon, probably my favorite of this whole taste testing, but there wasn't anything I disliked in this taste testing, so let's be fair. All right, let me go get the one from the freezer. You know what? Honestly, the lemon one actually reminds me more of a lemon square, like a lemon bar, than it does of lemon cream pie, but either way. All right, so this is the frozen one. I put on a little napkin. I honestly don't think I could have chosen a better one to put in the freezer, because if the toasted room temperature version didn't remind me of a lemon square or a lemon bar, that sure as hell did. That was so good. And now I can't help but wonder, so when I was a kid, I would love taking, Eggo made these, like, I think they were just cinnamon waffles. No, French toast waffles, because they were in the shape of little pieces of, like, 4 pieces of French toast all put together. I don't know, either way, as a kid, I preferred to take those out of the freezer and eat them frozen than I did to toast them and put syrup on them, because they were, for some reason, so good frozen. And I can't help but wonder if I took one of the Eggo Pop-Tarts and put that in the freezer, and then one of the cinnamon sugar pretzel Pop-Tarts and put that in the freezer, and then took a bite of those together, what kind of flavor that would create. Because I feel like you couldn't go wrong there. I'm not going to try it, and the only reason is because the other Pop-Tart from each of these packs, I'm going to let my boyfriend try all of these. And then for the rest of them, I'm gonna share with friends and family, because that just seems like the proper thing to do, because this is a lot of freaking Pop-Tarts. Alright, so with that being said, I would love to know if you have tried any of these Pop-Tarts. I saw, not in time to do this video, but at one point they had Fruit Loops Pop-Tarts. If you tried those, I'm very curious what your thoughts are. But either way, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate if you gave it a thumbs up and subscribed, because that would let not only me know and appreciate that you appreciate this video, but it would also let YouTube know that you like this video. and I'd really appreciate that. But either way, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day. Bye.